Would you look at this? Welcome back to RC Everyday, everybody. Another Tamiya time episode. I've got another vintage touring car. I can't stop. Yeah. This one's not 100% accurate, but man, it looks good. With all of my cars I've been collecting, they are kind of a driver quality base. So this one's on the nicer end of that. The body has one little crack in it. I'll show you more of that here in a minute. But this is a fantastic build. So we got an R32 Skyline and the Calsonic livery. But it's on a TA01. And this body would have come on a TA02. I think I have it pulled up here in '94. So the original TA01 base GTR would have just been gray. It would have had those weird gray wheels and been a little bit more plain Jane. And those came out in '91 or something. I was just looking at that too. But there we got this. I don't know if somebody bought a body set later. I don't have a box. I don't have instructions. I don't have anything for this other than the car. And of course I had to have it. This one is the first one I've got that actually has the driver set inside. And I miss that. Everybody says, oh, you can buy them, you can buy them. You can buy the rally one right now. I can't find the one with the single driver. You can get the rally ones cheap from Tamiya anywhere online, eBay, and everywhere has them. But not every car has a driver and a co-driver. These had a regular, just one-seater kind of deal. And yeah, my original TA02 Alfa Romeo has that as well, that I haven't built yet. So let's take a look at this thing today. I got a pretty decent, fair deal on it. It's in excellent shape though. It's got some cool features. So like I said, this car does have one flaw. We've got a small split in the fender right here, which you really can't tell in this lighting. I'm not going to agitate it, so I'll just leave it like it is. But it's split from here to that body line. It does have the original two-piece wheels, and they are set to narrow, even on the back, because this is not a wide TA01 or 2 chassis. But it does have the wider rear wheel itself. So that's one thing that's really cool. This has the old school HPI tires on it that I had when I was a kid. After I burned through the stock slicks that came on my Alfa Romeo, I got the HPI, look like regular belted tires. Yeah, I don't know if they were any better or anything, but they looked cool because you actually had a tire tread. It wasn't just a slick that came on it. So the guy I got this from actually shipped it really well. He even put protection over the mirrors. The mirrors are perfectly color matched. Wings looks a little darker, maybe. It's hard to tell in this lighting. This LED light's not the best for anything. But it's all there. There's no damage. I keep getting some air bubbles under the stickers. I don't know if it's from shipping. It didn't come very far. This was actually pretty local. It came from a couple hours away. Pretty close to where I just moved from. But yeah, this thing is just beautiful. And R32 Skyline is my favorite generation. It's just I don't know. Anything before that, it looks too vintage. The 33s seem too bulbous and rounded. The 34s are just, they've been everywhere. Kind of tired of them. Everybody, every movie, everything is always R34 Skyline. And then the new one, the 35s, we don't have those here in the States as Skylines. They're here as the GTR. And yeah, they're just not the same. They don't have that same lore that follows them like the 32 does for me anyway. So I'll pull the body off, take a look at this chassis. Leave the interior in there for now. It's velcroed in, I don't want to really pull on it. So TA01, got the honeycomb, light gray. This one, never been driven, not a scratch on it. Let me see, we've got the mount for the servo, the mount for the 3-speed speed controller. We got our servo mounts and our servo horn. We're missing the rest of our servo saver, but oh well. The blue shock bodies. That's a old school TA01 thing. I've never actually had a set of the blue shock bodies, so I don't know exactly what generation or anything this is. I don't know which cars came with the blue shocks. I'm assuming it was the earlier ones because I've never actually seen them before. But got the stock can motor in there. But you can just see this thing is flawless on the bottom. Still has that oily feel like it just came out of the package. It's got nice, look how shiny the kingpin screws are for the front knuckles. Still have like the zinc coating all over them. No anything wrong with it at all. Even the ball ends here are still shiny. So this has obviously been taken pretty good care of. So you can see we've got the HPI, what do they call these? Rotation, the super radials, that's what they were. They've got the narrows up front and the wides in the rear. Just awesome. I mean, that's the same tire and wheel setup I had. I had some HPI wheels that I got too, and I had the wides on the back. I thought that was the coolest thing, having staggered tire sizes when I was growing up. I'll pull a tire off. I have not checked to see if this has ball bearings or they built it strictly as a shelf queen. Well, she's got the bushings, but it feels pretty smooth. You can see they're discolored, so somebody actually greased them. There's a little bit of oil of some kind on the 12mm hex. Look how clean and mint the inside of that wheel is. Even the hex, the white, is still stark white. Hasn't really yellowed much at all. Super, super nice car. See out back, same story. Thing is just clean as can be. Alright, so the interior is held in with 4 small pieces of Velcro. It's done, painted on the outside very nicely with this kind of, I don't know what you call that, industrial gray. You usually see a lot of race cars, frames and engine bays and stuff painted like that, interiors. Pretty nicely done. Seat, driver, all orange suit. He's got a fire mask on underneath there, and you can see a little bit of skin tone in his eyes. He doesn't have his eyeballs painted, but he's pretty detailed. We got a gauge cluster and a little shifter. It's a nice touch, and they had this cut out. That's where the antenna comes through, and this is for the 3-speed mechanical speed controller to stick up through, which imagine that looked pretty funny. So one thing I like to do, if I've got a really nice car, I get out my junk ones and compare notes, you know, see what's going on here. So this is the chassis that came with that other Celica body that I got. We talked about that a couple videos ago with the really nice Celica cast roll. And I bought another Celica body. It was pretty rough. I've got it put up in a box right now. But this was the chassis for it. It had some broken stuff. It was missing shocks and things like that. So I was just looking. This one is obviously box stock. This one has different outputs on the rear. And I got to looking. It's kind of got like a ball diff or something in it. It's got different rods or different drive shafts and everything. So I'm not sure what's going on. It may be interesting to get inside of this. This one does have ball bearings I didn't know. So at least in the rear. So I might have to do some exploratory surgery with this thing and take a look. Now I do want to build a TA01. I've got, over the years collecting parts, I've been buying 01, 02 stuff because most of it's interchangeable. But I've happened to start to get a little bit of a collection of 01 specific stuff like drive shafts and things like that. I have a carbon fiber drive shaft for a TA01 and it will not fit the tube because it's, you know, too shorter. So I don't know what we're going to do with it, but we may restore this chassis, tear it down, clean it like we always do, put all new bearings in it, and see what kind of gearing and stuff we got going on. But I did a couple things to it off camera. I do tinker with these around because I don't want to make all Tamiya content all the time because a lot of people on the channel don't get into it that much. So I don't want to bore everybody to death with it. But put some shocks on this. It had some broken holes on our steering mounts on the hubs up front. Replaced those with some new ones, just stock stuff. I've got aluminum stuff for everything, but I'm kind of real picky about where I use it. I don't want to throw, like, say, a really great car like this and start throwing a bunch of GPM stuff on it. And if I had some actual nice high-end vintage aluminum stuff that actually fit real nice, then maybe, but not the stuff that you can currently get. And yeah, I can't afford to buy the vintage stuff still in the package. It's yeah. If anybody knows where any TA01 or 2 KOSE, K-O-S-E parts, I had all this stuff. My sister got it for me when I was in like 97. And I've done all kinds of research trying to find that. There's not much on eBay. There's a bunch of it in like Singapore and other odd places, but it's not anything useful. Like looking for the front one-way diff I had and all the drive shaft cups and stuff like that. But I had a lot of stuff, and I hung on to it for many years. And back around 03, 04, I started getting back into it again, which, I mean, wasn't that long after I was in high school, but I still had the car, and it was pretty much just in a junk box torn apart. And I went through and pulled out all the aluminum stuff, and I built a new TA02. And I used everything on it, and I had it for, oh Lord, maybe 10 years. And when we first started the YouTube channel, it's actually done some stuff with it on here. Just trying to put an R34 body on it. And I just couldn't really get into it. I was getting back into the crawling stuff, and I didn't do anything with it. So I ended up selling it. And now I'm really kicking myself. I got a decent price for it. I think I got $300 or $400 for the chassis, unfinished body. But now all that aluminum stuff is worth $300 or $400 at least. And it's in unobtainium at the moment. So yeah, if anybody knows where any of that stuff is reasonably priced, please don't tell me, because I'll probably buy it. But but yeah, this car's next up. Probably tear down and restoration. I threw some old TA02 shocks on it. I don't know which bumper was actually. I think this is the '01 bumper, and that's the '02 bumper. And the same one that's on most of the '02s I had. But I don't know what this is. So I got to do some more research on these things, but it's fun kind of stuff to deal with. You can see how dingy it is down in here in these honeycombs, and this one is just immaculate. I did want to show you one other little piece that I snagged. I happened to get a really good deal. This is an HPI TA02 chassis conversion. The gearboxes on it are empty. I've got a few little odds and ends for it. Uprights and body mounts, and another battery holder for the stock chassis. Servo saver parts. You know, this good stuff to have, but nothing really imperative to this. There's no gears in it. Gearboxes, a lot of the screws and stuff are split. The lid's shot on that, but got some good A-arms. I got these rods, which aren't the right things for up there, but another good parts to have. But these chassis are super, super rare. I don't know how many were ever made or anything, but it says in here, Hobby Products International. Changes the weight distribution on this. Apparently these were really competitive racers. You got, I don't remember how, your battery, got a body clip here. And where's my pliers? I've stabbed myself with a screwdriver the other day, so I can't really grab that with my finger. So you've got this carbon composite graphite thing here. Battery goes in the middle, and instead of having the servo down low in the front, servo goes on top right here, and your link goes this way. So that gets your weight centered over the middle. Apparently these were, I was reading somewhere, these were really good with the front wheel drive gearbox, the FF stuff. So might be a build in the future for this. I don't have any more FF gearboxes. I already have one car that's complete, missing a front gearbox. I've got a lot of the rear sections of the FF cars, but I don't have any of the fronts, other than the cars I've already got. But the reason I got this so cheap is because, one, parts are impossible to find. There is no replacement parts for this, so you break one of these graphite things, you can be laser cutting one out of carbon fiber or somewhere. Steering is different. It has different steering arms, and this one is broken. And this, I was really disappointed with that. I got to looking and doing research and hitting all the forums and reading stuff, and I don't think anybody's even talked about looking for one of these since like 2012 in any of the forums that I could find. So not a super huge deal, because I know something like that could be 3D printed. This is a nice high quality plastic, just like the chassis. So I'd have to get a better quality print than, you know, your regular at-home kind of printers, but not a big deal. If I can get somebody to draw that up, I mean, it's just missing the end with the ball on it. It's going to be exactly like the other side, just with this part on it as well. So not a big deal. It can be done for not a fortune. I mean, it might be something to make 10 or 20 of them and have them for people that, the very few people that have these and are looking for one. But again, something very cool, just neat vintage thing. This is in excellent shape. It's got a few little lines on it, so you can tell it's been on the road a little bit, but really nice, clean chassis. And something I just had to grab because, again, the right place at the right time. But I think that's going to wrap it up for this video, guys. I appreciate y'all watching. I know this is kind of a niche thing, and not everybody's into it. Everybody came to my channel for rat rods and rock crawlers and scale stuff, so just doing a little history and a little collecting. Something a little different, you know. That's the main thing with all this stuff, and being, you know, the channel the size that it is. It's still, this is my channel, and I can do what I want. I mean, this stuff, I really like this, and yeah, I think, you know, this kind of, these are going up in value every day. This TA01 and '02 stuff is a lot harder to find than it was 6 or 7 years ago when I was looking for it. I mean, I could still find stuff. I was getting those aluminum pieces and stuff from all the obscure Japanese brands that were making accessories for these that are no longer around. So it's kind of cool. It's kind of a RC historian role I've taken on here with the on-road stuff. I'm trying to keep it in mind still. Like I said, all these cars are not perfect, like this isn't the right chassis for this body, but we have them. So when we find us a nice gray GTR body, we can just throw it on this chassis, get the right wheels, put this body on an 02. I've got lots of 02 sitting around. Some of them are really nice. So it's just, you know, just managing the collection, and I can't wait to get a place where I can get some actual display cases and have these things out, because right now everything in here is dusty, so I got to keep these really nice cars tucked away somewhere in a box and not out for the world to see. So that part kind of sucks, but anyway guys, I appreciate y'all watching. Keep it scale, and I'll see y'all in the next video.